Hello traders, hope you are well. This is Julio Pinero here again. I'm going to be doing this mid-week market focus. Today is the 13th of August 2014 and I've got a few bullet points here as usual. I'm going to cover basics of the esignal once again, how to use it, just some key elements. Then I'm going to move on to price action, how to spot price action, which is basically the individual bars. Um, and then I'm gonna show you a few stocks such as Microsoft and Apple. And yeah, and those are the bullet points. So let's get started. Um, right. So basically, one of the things that I like to cover is, let's say your chart is hidden like that. It's a pretty common thing that I've found out. Normally, when you download it, because of the size of the screen, all the screens are not all the same. So sometimes the chart is kind of hidden at the bottom, which means you have no access to use um, the axis. You can use this axis, but this axis will be hidden because the chart is actually hidden down there. So what you have to do is to make it smaller first, and then you push it up until you see the whole screen like that, and then you can make it fit after that. Okay. So then you have access to the axis down here, so you can make it bigger and smaller, and then here as well. Here you have all the currencies here, and you have most of the tools all here in this section here. You have the pencil for the phase 1 and phase 2. This one is to measure the pips. That's to draw trend lines. That one as well, and that is for horizontals, support and resistance. Okay, cool. So now let's see what else we can do now. If you want to save an extra copy, you can do save page as, and you can call it number 2. So you can call it number 2 or number 3, and then you can just save an extra backup, and it's gonna pop up down here. So you have 1 and 2 basically. So just in case something happens to one of them, you can have a backup. Right, now how you can spot price action. For example, if you're looking for high test bars and low test bars, you should be looking at them, looking for those on turning points. Okay, so this one down here is a low test bar. It's also bouncing off the 50 moving average, so there's a low test bar there, which is an indication that the market is going to go up. If you see this high test bar, this is in the wrong place, because high test bars have to be at the top, not at the bottom. So the high test bars, they should all be up here. Okay, and down here you'll be looking for low test bars, if any. So that's a low test bar. There's another low test bar there as well. This high test is again in the wrong place. Okay, this one is in the right place. Low test bar, so you have to look at high test bars and low test bars in the right place. Now that's a high test bar and it's in the right place. That one there. This little one here, and so on and so on. Yeah, so make sure you for high test bars and low test bars in the right place, and those they give an indication of potential turning points in the market. Great. So that is also high test bar. That is also a low test bar. Yeah, always reverses more often than not. That's a low test bar that reverses. This one here is also a low test bar. This one here is also low test bar. Reverses. Yep. So it doesn't matter which currency you're looking at. High test bars and low test bars are very, very powerful. Doesn't matter if it's a currency, if it's a stock, commodity, doesn't matter. They have the same effect. So that's a low test, goes up, high test, goes down, low test, goes up a little bit, high test, goes down, low test, goes up. This one here, low test, goes up, high test, goes down, low test, goes up. Let me point them out for you. One there. There's another one here as well. There's another one down here. Yep. This one you have to measure and see whether it's a high test bar or not. This one here. Because the tail has to be minimum half. So this tail up here has to be minimum half than the rest of it. Then this one here. Next one. Okay. So look for high test bars and low test bars, that indication of potential turning points in the market. This one is also that's a high test bar as well. This one here is a low test, another low test. Okay, so that's another high test. That's another high test, and it's an inside bar as well. So it's a high test and an inside bar, same as this one here. Well, this is just an inside bar, and that's an inside bar as well. Inside bar represents indecision in the market until you break through the highs or the lows. Okay, this one, this big one here, that is a doji bar. So how do you know if it's a doji bar? Well, from the opening to the close has to be maximum 5 pips. So you put the cursor on top of the bar, or not necessarily, you can put it on top of this date, and it will tell you the open, high, low, and close of this particular bar on this particular date. So from the opening to the close is from 81 to 88 is definitely more than 5 pips. So it is not a doji bar. It has to be maximum 5 pips. I'm looking at these numbers here, by the way, from the opening to the close. So it has to be maximum 5 pips. And it has to be fairly in the middle. Right, so it's not a doji bar. That's fine. This one is definitely a high test. And then consequently the market goes down. That is also a high test bar. And it's pretty much flat up here, if you look carefully. Yep. Cool, so I'm sitting on this trade here myself, still. I'm sitting on this one here, I sold it there. I don't know if I'm in still, so I have my stop here. I have to check. So yeah, that's been going down. Whether you trade the stop loss or not, that's up to you, depending on how aggressive or how conservative you are with your trading. Either way is fine. Even if you trade the stop loss and you get stopped out here, it's fine. It's a winning trade anyways. If you have left the stop loss at break even, let's say, then you can still sit on it and go for a much larger move. Right, see what else we have. Next one. Right, here we go. Which one was it? I wanted to cover the Aussie Swiss. Yep, Aussie Swiss. Been waiting for this for a while. Now it's kicking off. It's been pushing up, came back down to the 50-moving average. You're not gonna get the 3 touches here. Yep. The patterns are quite clear. Pretty clear patterns there, pushing up. It's a bit of a sub cycle here. So you obviously have to look for clarity in the market. If you look at the FTSE, for example, is still messing about. But if you look at the Dow, it seems to be that the market is back in phase one. If you look at the weekly chart, it looks a bit more clear. So there is a low test bar, but this is on the weekly chart. That's a low test. That's another low test. That's another low test, and that is a high test, and that is another high test, and these two are high test bars. Yep, this one's in the wrong place. So you have to look for high test bars in the right place. Yep, and now by the look of things, the phase one is gonna kick off to the upside again, and this on the Dow Jones. Okay, back down to the daily chart. That's what it is. You go to the S&P. There's the S&P there. You go to the weekly chart. It looks very similar to the Dow Jones. There is a low test, goes up, low test. Yep. So inside bar, low test followed by a bullish bar. Okay, and it seems to be that it's going to be taking off as well. And also the Nasdaq is pushing up. That's on the weekly chart. If you go to the daily, you can also see that it's pushing up nicely. Okay. I've got one I'd like to cover. It's called Microsoft MS. Here we go. So it's MSFT. That's for Microsoft Corporation. So the code is MSFT. You might get it 1 day delayed, depends on what subscription you have for stocks. So basically here on this particular one, market was giving beautiful high highs and high lows. So there it is. So that's your channel pushing up. The risk would have been your risk, and the reward will be all this lot here. Okay, so it's a pretty decent reward risk ratio. Yeah, so that's the chart. Is back in phase one again. So everything seems to be back in phase one in the US, which is great. Going back to currencies, I got the Euro Kiwi, which is still making its mind up. It's not very clear what is going to happen here. The trend line is there. At the moment, it's in no man's land, so it's between the 50 and the 200. So you have to be very careful here if you sell that. It's a very aggressive trade, high risk, high reward, but it's in no man's land. That in between the 50 and the 200 is triggering now as we speak. The problem here is that it can bounce off the 50 and then take off again. So that is the risk with the no man's land. Okay, what else we have? There's not much else apart from that. We have the Kiwi, which is not clear. It looks more clear on the weekly, but on the daily has a huge sell-off there, and it's just not very clear that it's going to carry on going up. The ones that I'm keeping an eye on is basically the well, the Aussie Swiss, the Euro Yen, so the main ones, and the US stock market as well. Yeah. So make sure you look for clarity out there when you're trading. The Swiss yen also looks very similar. This is the Swiss Japanese yen. So it might give some opportunities there to sell. Market is giving lower highs and lower lows. It's pulling back up. There is probably giving a selling opportunity on an income generator. There it is. It's not the best pullback ever. It's approaching the trend line here. This could be a potential. It's not very clear. This lot here, I give a low test bar here in the wrong place. This cycle is okay. This one is a bit too short. This ideally should have been lower, giving nice low highs and lower lows. Pullback here is unclear, but it's a trade overall. It's a trade to sell. The entry will be 5 below the low. Yeah, 5 pips below the low, and the stop loss 100 above the high. And you're expecting this move to take place. Okay, so basically it'll be just a trend continuation short in the direction of the trend, sitting there on the 20 moving average there as well. So that is one there that is happening. In generator, you have to wait for the daily bar to close and then place an order based on the bar that has just closed or is about to close. Okay, fine. We've got commodities here which are doing absolutely nothing. Right, I'm going to remove the indicator. Leave it like that. Right. There's the Dow Jones. We already had a look at these. We've got the Russell down here, which is unclear. The only ones that are clear are the S&P and the Dow Jones, which we already had a look at. Right. Let's move on to stocks. Here we go. So now, for instance, I've got EasyJet here in front of me. The code is up here, EZJ-LON. You'll be looking for the cycles, so lower highs and lower lows. Push it down, like that. And then you copy and paste it, put it down here. So that is giving lower highs and lower lows. This one is giving also a selling opportunity. Because this high is lower than this high, so it's a lower high, and this low is also lower than this low, so it's giving lower highs and lower lows. So there's a pullback 1, 2, 3, 4 days in the phase 2. It is pushing down, sitting on the 20 moving average here. The entry will be just beneath the low. It's a bit there, and a stop loss there. So it'd be like a you can take it as a 20 pounds, or you can take it as a power play. For a power play, will be the entry will be just beneath the low of the bar. So just beneath, just down here for the entry point, and up here for the stop loss. 1 pip either way, and then there is no target, so that's it. Now for a 20 pounds, the entries will be on the actual blue line itself. Okay, so you'll be taking it there where the blue line is, which is that's your entry there. So 1294 will be literally the 20 moving average there for the entry point. And just put this box away. Stop should be 40. Here would be a pretty decent stop loss. What I tend to do myself, I tend to like kind of have a look at the market and see what's happening, and then look at it, see the pattern. Let me just remove all these lines here. It's getting a bit messy. Now, if you want to make it even more complex, you can look at the fib as well. So it'll be from the previous swing high to the previous swing low, and it's sitting on the 38.2. Okay, so from the previous swing high to the previous swing low, it's sitting on the 38.2 before it potentially carries on going down. Now, if you want to put the 20 pounds up, you have to go into formulas. Then you have to put the 20 pounds up. There we go. And here it's giving you the entry, the stop loss, and the target. So those are the numbers. If you don't have the numbers coming up when you click on the horizontal line, what you have to do is to do right click on short price, and then put it on the right hand side. Yeah, and then click on default, save, Okay, so this will be for a 20 bounce. It's a 1-to-1 reward risk ratio, so the stop loss will be up here and the target will be down there. Great. So that is what you have to do for a 20 bounce, or you can also take it as a power play as well. Okay, let's see what's happening in here. Nothing to buy. Got a few here to sell. Nothing there. Next one, this one is giving an opportunity to sell as a 20 pounds. It's giving both actually. It's giving a power play and a 20 pounds. For the 20 pounds, entries there, stop loss there, target there. It's telling you here anyways. And for a power play, the entry is just below the lower bar and the stop loss is just above the higher bar and no target. Okay, same as the other one. Right, let's move on. Next one. This one is giving a nice pattern. We'll have to pull back up a bit further. Um, right, let's go to the next one. Not much there. Next one. So it looks alright. Not too bad. Pretty nice cycles here. So phase 1 and phase 2 all the way like that. Pushing down nicely. Let's have a look. Giving lower highs and lower lows. This current bar is a bit too big. I would rather wait for a an inside bar, let's say. Price action. Wait for an inside bar, which is when the bar is inside the previous bar. Doesn't matter the color. Doesn't matter where it opens or closes. It just needs to be inside the previous bar. If so, put an entry just beneath the low of the low, the low of the bar, sorry, and the stop loss above the mother bar up here. If you want to be more conservative, put the stop loss just above the 50 MA, and then you take it from there to the downside. So you just want to basically follow this pattern that is giving you here. Yeah, the low highs and lows in the direction of the trend, following the moving averages, and all the rest of it. So basically, that's the step-by-step process that you have to do when you scanning through and trying to find potential power plays and 20 bounces. And that's it really. I'm gonna leave it here for now, and I'll catch you all very soon. Cheers there. Take care.